2017, and we're all pumped up and good to go. It's going to be a phenomenal track, and we're looking forward to it. Okay, I'm good on this then. Fantastic. Find a comfortable position to sit or lay down. And as you make yourself comfortable, you can just adjust your position and make yourself nice and comfortable. This is your time. If you've got anything on your mind that's pressing or any issues, just write them down, if you will, on a paper and let them go. You can pick them up any time if you wish. For now, perhaps you'd like to take a deep breath in and just exhale all your worries and concerns. And as you exhale, anything on your mind, get comfortable, and perhaps you'd like to close your eyes. And then as you close your eyes, you begin to wonder. And as you wonder, you become aware of your breathing. And as you become aware of your breathing, you notice your heartbeat. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And as you notice your heartbeat, you feel sensations in the body. And as you feel those sensations, you allow yourself to relax. And as you allow yourself to relax, you can transport yourself to the most wonderful, the most beautiful, wonderful environment, place you could ever imagine. Perhaps it's somewhere you've been before. Perhaps it's a vacation, a holiday, sometime with friends and family. Perhaps it's a place you've created within the figments of your imagination. And imagine like watching a TV screen. You create the most beautiful place. Notice what you see, what you hear, and what you feel. The colors, the sounds, the feelings, any taste or smells. Let yourself go. This is your time. You can imagine emptying all your thoughts into a bin liner, and you can pick them up later if you wish. For now, let yourself go and experience this magic, this wonder, this beautiful, beautiful feeling of bliss. And as you experience these feelings of bliss, just breathe naturally and normally. And you notice your breathing slowing down. And your heart rate slows down. And as you become more and more relaxed, calm, and peaceful, I know you've been thinking about reducing your weight for a while. I know it's been on your mind, and you know what to do to be the weight you want to be. And as you think about the weight you want to be, imagine what it would feel like to be the weight you want to be. And as you process that and think about that, just take a time to reflect on the feeling. Think of the emotion, the feeling of what it would be like to be your ideal, optimum weight. And let those feelings spread for every cell of the body. And as you let them spread for every cell of the body, you begin to wonder and set a goal. Specifically, what weight do you want to be? Stone, kilo, what suit size, what dress size? Be very specific. Be very, very specific. And think of how you'll feel when you achieve it. And think of where the feelings are. And let those feelings spread through every cell of the body. And think of the ways you can achieve it. Think of the resources you have, the information, access to professionals. Think of the ways and the resources you've got to achieve your goal. And as you process that, think of the reasons why. What's your why? Your motivation? What pain will you be avoiding as a result of achieving your goal? What emotional pain? Maybe you're tired of being sluggish and lethargic. Maybe you're tired of feeling the way you are. And think of as many reasons you can. Think of as many reasons as you can to avoid the emotional pain of being the weight you are in your own time and in your own pace. Now think of moving towards a positive outcome. Some compelling reason to be the weight you want to be. You might want to prepare yourself for a beach holiday. It might be you want to get into a dress or into a suit or just generally feel great. Think of many reasons you can from a positive perspective. And as you think of the reasons, think of the associations you have to food, the way you perceive food, your perception of food. I once worked with a woman who was a high-powered business professional, and she had put on weight, like many of us do at different points of our life. And she'd been in a breakup, and it had been 2 years since she'd broken up in a relationship, and she was struggling emotionally. And what she would do after a long day of work she'd come home in the evening, in the late evening, and she'd eat all the wrong foods at the wrong time. Chocolates and cakes, and she tried everything there was you could try. Until eventually I regressed her to an early age to find out the behavior behind the emotion. And we explored. And we found that when she was 4 or 5 years old, whenever she'd get hurt or fall down or be upset, her mum would make her a cake and chocolate. And she had a relationship with food and love. So when she was going home, she was associating food with love. So we cleaned up the emotion. And you can clean up any emotions if you choose to. Let them fly in the sky with a balloon. And you can think of other things you can do as a replacement. You could go for a walk and stimulate the endorphins in the brain. You could drink water. You could drink healthy water. You can have replacements. For example, you could eat higher nutritional value food. Greens. You could eat greens and go green, high alkaline foods. High nutritional values. It's time now to let go of any feelings that are getting in the way of you achieving the weight you want to get to. And it's time to stop beating yourself up and accept the situation for what it is. Not resignation, acceptance without beating yourself up. By acceptance and compassion, give yourself a big hug, knowing it's not entirely your fault. You are the way you are. There's many reasons that have contributed to the situation you're in. Life changes. Maybe you've had a baby. Maybe you've lost a job. Maybe you're going through emotional pain. There could be a number of reasons, if not one. And if you beat yourself up, like you probably have been, which is a good chance you are in the situation you're in. If, for example, you have a pack of biscuits and you eat 2, if you beat yourself up, you'll end up eating the whole pack. If you've eaten 2, it's okay to eat 2. Stop at 2. Now it's time to move forward and recognize the emotions you feel. What do you feel when you eat the foods that are contributing to the weight you are? Explore the feelings. If you can't think of the feelings now, you can think of them later. Take time to process the feelings, the emotions, and as you take time to process the feelings around your eating, accept they're there rather than deny. And as you accept them, the feelings are there. Investigate. Talk to the feelings. What are they telling you? What are they saying? What's wrong? What's happening? So in the case of that woman I mentioned, it was the breakup. She was lonely and she was afraid of being on her own. And she had many fears, many which didn't materialize. And a coping strategy was to eat. Now talk to your feelings and communicate with them. And you might not have all the answers now. You might have the answers later, next week, next year. The answers will arrive. And as the answers arrive, you can look at it in a new way. See things in a new way. How else can you see it? How else can you perceive the situation you're in? How else can you perceive it? Knowing life doesn't stay the same. Life always changes, and nothing's permanent, good or bad. Yet ultimately, in life, the perfect time to start is now. Because life will never be perfect. And if it's perfect, it's not perfect for long. Because life is always evolving. It's an ever evolving. So, look at things differently. And as you look at things differently, and you stop beating yourself up, you realize that it's not always easy to eat the wrong foods, or the right foods, or the right foods or the wrong foods. Because look around us and look at advertising campaigns. And advertising campaigns build associations around food. Whether they be crisps, whether they be soft drink. It's like when you see the soft drink commercials and they use arousal and they use sexual arousal to associate their products, and they strategically place marketing so subliminally and implicitly you have a compulsion in their product because it invokes feeling. Now you take control and you draw an underline and you realize that you can feel good by walking, stimulating endorphins in the brain. You can feel good by eating nutritional foods, just breaking the cycle. Foods that are more stable in energy, without the sugar rush, the spike that brings you up and brings you right down and brings you up and brings you right down. Let it go and break the cycle and reassociate pain. And every time you associate to the foods that have been causing you the issues, see them for what they are, the poor ingredients. I had a client once and I had him associate a picture of the way he would look in 5 years if he carried on eating the foods he was eating. Whenever he went to shopping and saw those foods in the aisle, so the soda pop and the chocolates and the sweets, he saw a reflection. And you can see a reflection of yourself. See a reflection of yourself in that food, seeing yourself bigger and gaining more weight and more sluggish and more lethargic. And as you do that, on the flip side, you can see a reflection of how you want to look, or how you used to look, or how you will look in the great foods, the good foods, the nutrition foods. So foods like broccoli and cucumber and salads and vegetables. You see a beautiful reflection of how you want to look in those foods. And as you see a beautiful reflection of how you want to look in those foods, you've got a choice now. The choice is yours. You can take one road or the other. If you carry on the road you've taken so far, you'll keep getting the same result. And as you reflect on the road you're on, you imagine waking up tomorrow feeling the same way. 6 months from now, you catch a reflection of yourself in the mirror eating the same types of foods, the same habits, and you're gaining more weight, and you feel more lethargic, and you feel more sluggish. And the year from now, and 5 years from now, time being the way it is, we don't go to bed one night and wake up in the morning and gain weight. We put it on incrementally. You see yourself almost twice the weight you are, and you feel disgusted with yourself and upset, and you see the reflection, and you knew you could have done something about it because time goes fast, and you almost resign now, and 10 years goes by, and think of how fast the last 10 years went, like that. Now you've got a chance to reverse it. It's your call. You can reverse it. That's the beauty. 10 years hasn't gone by, and you're still at that crossroads, and you can make a decision. And as you make the decision, you start planning what you're going to eat during the week. You talk to your friends and family. You build a support network of people who are going to help you. And ultimately, you get rid of any negative emotions that aren't serving you no more. And you make a lifestyle change. You go for walks. And as you go for these walks, you stimulate the brain, the endorphins, you feel great, you play sport, you do wonderful things. You absorb yourself in study and reading, and you change your life. And as you change certain aspects of your life, you adopt a better eating plan. And you can still have certain foods at certain times, yet ultimately now you can have an 80-20 rule. You eat 80% of the time well, and 20% you eat whatever you want. And gradually you have a realistic goal of maybe 1.5 pound to 2 pound loss every week or so. And gradually with the lifestyle change, with the exception of the odd hiccup here and there, you have a nice smooth transition. And with that smooth transition, you see yourself in 6 months looking much better, feeling much better. You catch yourself in the mirror. And a year from now, you see yourself looking the way you want to be. And notice how you feel and the things you do. And how you feel when you walk and the compliments you get. People saying, you look fantastic. How did you do it? And 2 years from now, and 5 years from now, you keep it up and people say, you look amazing. What did you do? And you feel great. You feel phenomenal. And 10 years from now, you catch a reflection of yourself in the mirror, standing with your back straight, glowing and radiating and feeling absolutely fantastic and awesome, totally awesome. And feel it. And let those feelings spread for every cell of your body. Let them spread for every cell. Feel it. Bring them in. Let those feelings spread for every cell of the body. Let them spread for every cell of your body and feel it. And go to the feeling. And as you let those feelings spread for every cell of the body, embed them in your unconscious mind. And as you embed them in the unconscious mind, start reflecting on moving forward, the steps you're going to take to be the way you want to be. And as you do that, you can give your unconscious mind time to process in your own time and in your own pace. And as you do that, just breathe naturally and normally. And as you breathe naturally and normally, embed those wonderful feelings of what it will feel like when you are the weight you want to be, the way you want to look. Embed those feelings from every cell of the body. Embed them in the subconscious mind. And as you embed them, I'm going to pause for a moment. And if it's safe to do so, you can drift off to sleep with these wonderful feelings. And when you get up in the morning, you'll feel refreshed, recharged, and revitalized. Or perhaps if you've got things to do and places to go, you can come back in your own time and in your own pace, feeling refreshed, feeling recharged, and feeling revitalized.